Well, it's midweek, it's Wednesday, and this is where we say good morning to your DBS viewing family. As always, it's quite an honor to wake up in your presence, and it's so heartfelt that you decide to wake up with us and be inspired by us. Let's see what's happening in our news desk. Let's take a look at over there, and we'll be back.
Good morning. A call has gone out for the implementation of the driver's license demerit points system, which has been part of local legislation for over 2 decades. The appeal comes from the president of the National Council on Public Transportation, the NCOPT, who points to a similar system being recently implemented in Antigua and Barbuda.
It says a lot about us as a country. Administration talks about safety, but they do not put the mechanisms in place or implement the mechanisms to be sure that we have systems in place to reduce the accidents that we have on the road. We just cannot rely only on personal responsibility. We have to rely on the fact that we can equip the police with the equipment. And then we also need the courts to operate. Suspension of license, revoking of license needs to be something that we are serious about. If persons think that they can be in a fatal accident today or in a serious accident today, and by the following week they're in another vehicle driving the very same way because they don't know or they don't think that anything can happen to them.
He believes this penalty system, the demerit system, along with other practicable measures, could significantly help curtail the carnage on the local roads. Owners of derelict vehicles, meanwhile, that are parked in public spaces and who received notice from the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority to remove those vehicles but have not complied, can expect to have their vehicles taken away in the coming weeks.
7 days to move your vehicle. That's just not good enough. You understand? Where will you get funds? Where will you be? How you'll be able to move yourself within 7 days? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying solid waste, government, whatever, has to do their work. And we need our roadside to be as clear as possible. That's understood. But even then, they're supposed to prepare a place to give us, to store our stuff because we just do not have enough time within 7 days to move something or a few things, you understand? So I think they need to adjust that because it's just not right. It's just not right. To see you invest in that, sometimes you buy a vehicle just to get a part out of it and to see within 7 days they want you to just move it.
The owner of the derelict vehicle is liable for any costs reasonably incurred in connection with its removal under the Waste Management Act. For the first time, the Ministry of Commerce held its annual Business Month Mixer in the south of the island. Several business owners in the south got the opportunity to create linkages with other businesses in sectors such as tourism and agriculture.
What it is bringing large and small business persons together so that they can interact and that they can build relationships. Because the main issue for us is that our businesses, we always tell them, they cannot stand alone. They need to have relationships and partners with each other so that they are more sustainable.
Those in attendance say the mixer served as an opportunity for businesses to appreciate each sector and to explore opportunities to network. Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, believes cricket can unlock fresh avenues for economic growth across the CARICOM region. He made the observation when heads of government, Cricket West Indies representatives and elite cricketers met at the CARICOM Secretariat for the 21st meeting of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on Cricket. The meeting happened a day after CARICOM heads of government met with Indian Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. It follows up from the CARICOM Regional Cricket Conference in April that was designed to address West Indies cricket multifaceted obligations and challenges through a collaborative approach.
And cricket, the soul of our Caribbean culture, holds vast potential, not only to captivate the hearts, but also to inspire a new generation and unlock fresh avenues for economic growth across the CARICOM region. But I dare say, colleagues, this is not going to happen if we keep on doing the same things that we have been doing. Those things that we have been doing have been giving us a certain kind of result. And scientifically and otherwise, if we keep on doing those same things, we are likely to get those same results.
Prime Minister Rowley says the session aligns with a broader regional goal of sustainable development. He urges that together, cricket can be reimagined as a driver for unity and prosperity, leveraging its legacy and fostering regional pride whilst also capitalizing on monetization opportunities. And that's your news summary. Thanks for watching.
And that's it. Thank you, News Desk. Let's take a break and come back. This program is probably going to be a touching one for a few persons, because if you have somebody who is affected, or maybe you've been affected by cancer or any life-threatening disease in any way whatsoever, well, we do not hope to trigger you in any way, but we hope to bring light on a story, on a family that's had to deal with cancer, prostate cancer to be exact. And they're not a family removed from the St. Lucian populace, because they are very popular people amongst the St. Lucian public as well. They've been involved in the Calypso arena for quite some time. We are hoping today that this program, this feature today, the entire feature of this Wednesday morning is going to be surrounding their story. And we're hoping that it will help to encourage, maybe bring some light, or maybe bring some form of hope to somebody that is listening or viewing this at this time. So here is Cheryl and Dylan Pitcairn, who decided to share their heartfelt, touching story about their mission with us. This couple here has been a couple I've interacted with on my industry scene for some time now. I mean, Dylan and Cheryl Pitcairn is no stranger to you. There's no stranger to me. They're no stranger to the musical fraternity, especially in the Calypso department. We had a look in the school bag. This one still trends, you know. Dylan right here, we recently found out is it battling, or you survived, or where are you with the cancer?
I would say a cancer survivor. Yeah, because my issues that is under control and doing pretty well for now.
Dylan, now I would have never guessed, because you're just a trooper. I passing you every day on the street. You're coming in the school, you're dropping your children, you're on parent, and I know what's going on. When did this happen? How did this happen? What's going on? How did you interact with this? Where are we with this?
Well, I found out in February 2022. I got up morning as usual, and at that time I came in every Saturday. Though my business doesn't open on a Saturday, but I usually accommodated my clients by coming in on Saturdays. So I'm rushing to have a shower. And while I'm in the shower, I just urinated a whole side of blood. So that was a concern. I knew I had an enlarged prostate, but I didn't figure I was in any, harm's way or anything happening seriously, because I went to my doctor, my general practitioner, regular for other issues I have. I have too many. And he always did I've learned the name now, use the magic finger. Mm-hmm. And the magic finger test was telling him that the prostate feels nice and soft and stuff. Because if it feels hard, that means there's a tumor developing. So I guess feeling nice and soft, he felt it was okay. And what was, I should say, bad, a PSA should have been done, whether or not it felt that way, but no PSA was done. And I went to a general practitioner, and then they advised me that I had to run some tests. I did some tests, and then based on the results of the tests, I was then referred to a urologist, and I had to go and see the urologist, and then started a regimen of tests. And then I can, to my male peers, please check on your PSA. It is the experience for me, I say, was not difficult, but I know how men feel about having prostate tests done. And if you hit in the cancer level, because my PSA, when they did check it out, I won't hide. It was 67. The norm is supposed to be about 4. That's what they say. They play with depends, but it's about 4. And I was at 67. So I was definitely in the danger zone. But he did the test. Part of it was a little painful. Part was okay. But I had to buy the bulletin and do the test. And then after that, it was confirmed I had cancer. The day I found out I had cancer, honestly, the tears came out for the minute or two. And my wife and myself, we left and we went to our mom's house. And while we were in the driveway, what concerned me was not the cancer. I was not fearful because I made up my mind that if I have to go,
He's very emotional since that happened, you know. We sat in the driveway and we cried for a minute, and then my sister came, and then we decided we have to deal with that. But our concern more was, how are you going to pay for it? Because cancer is a big ticket. Because we had insurance, and then Suliat, and then Clico collapsed, and whatever happened there, I don't know. We lost our insurance, so here we are sitting with no insurance. But by the grace of God, we got through. Our family, our friends. I think this is the first time I've cried, really. I've never really cried about this thing, you know. We just put our pants
You need
up,
to,
and
you
then we
need
decided
to.
we would we have to deal with it. We have to go to Matic and we have to do something about it. But then I've never really cried, you know. But God has been good to us, Spirit. Our friends, our family have been good to us. Martinique. My daughter's godmother lives in Martinique, and she was very supportive. Going to Martinique is a hell of a thing, you know. I mean, I think our government needs to do something helping people navigate that medical issue in Martinique, because if you can't speak Creole and you can't speak French, it's back and forth. But I mean, I speak Creole pretty well, and Zizi's godmother was there to support us. But for people who don't have the support, they must be going through hell. I know, and we need to do something to help them. But the treatment itself for Dylan wasn't difficult. It was just radiation. He had to do 10 minutes, I think, a day. I mean, 36 or something sessions.
Yeah, well, you know, it always bring the tears. From last year, I started getting extremely emotional. I will get to that, but let me tell you about Martinique. The treatment for you guys out there and everybody out there it was a walk in the park. I was saying at a session at SLASPA where they invited me to speak to the men on Men's International Day. I was telling them that under the treatment, while I was there lying on the table, while the machine did its circles, one day I sat there and I was writing Calypso in my head. It was so relaxing. It's 10 minutes. You would normally spend more than 10 minutes at the hospital, but the session is only 10 minutes. Because of the radiation, you cannot stay on the duration for more than 10 minutes. It's short bursts. I had to do 36 treatments Monday to Friday. But I can tell you that when I left Clarac, which is a hospital for cancer, all cancers, I left her and I went to a very good friend who was very helpful, Albert, and Marianne, who is my daughter's godmother. She so happened to be a nurse, a senior nurse at the Lamena Hospital, which is really the Pierre Zondim.
Pierre Zuba. Yeah.
People say Lamena, but that's not the name. And it's a boxer. So I had her support, and the fact that she worked at the hospital, we were able to navigate the whole system. even doing the earlier test, because one of the tests you have to do is to ensure that the cancer has not got to the bone. If the cancer has got to the bone, while your survival rate is much less, because all they can do is control it at that stage. They cannot stop it. I was lucky, but still I was hoping that I would, I'm praying that, I would have gotten it a little earlier, so I would have had more options for treatment. But what I would like to say to the guys out there, please do your PSAs. I know a lot of us feel macho and we feel squeamish about, the magic finger and stuff like that. But if you don't have to do the magic finger. Just go and get the PSA done. I always like to tell this story. I have been encouraged. I've made it my mission that every guy I meet 40 plus, I am taking a few minutes, whether it's on the roadside, whether it's in a restaurant, no matter where it is, I'm going to stop and have the conversation. Because if somebody had that conversation with me, I would have not been in that position. Thank God I was seeing my cardiologist a day at Tapion, and when I came down the corridor, I met an old friend of mine, and he calls me Weeks. I said, hi, his name John, are you keeping? He said, man, Weeksy, it's nice to see you and stuff like that. So I said, I just came from seeing my doctor, and I gave him the little history. And I said, but how are you feeling? What you doing up here? He said, well, he came to get some medication, but he find that he's been urinating and he's been going to the bathroom a little too often. I said, listen, take my foolish advice. Go and get a PSA done right away. He calls me in about 2 to 3 days to say his PSA was in 3 digits. So that means you have cancer. There's no getting away. You have the cancer. It's what stage it is at. When he told me so, I suggested to him, and I told him to go to my urologist, because, he did a pretty good job. I must say that as a doctor, I think he knows his stuff. And one of the good things that he has the connections in Martinique, which makes the process a little easier for you. You're not on your own trying to get to Martinique, etc. And he eventually found out through the test that he had cancer. Now, while his treatment will not cure him or arrest it, it's just going to slow it down, I think, from what I understand. But his PSA has now gone from triple digits to 1 point something, which is, that's a miracle. I think he has added another 15 years to his life. It was traumatic for me because after coming out of Martinique, it was recommended that I took a particular drug. And the sad thing, the drug is not even available in the Caribbean. I had to, through the company I work with, they were able to assist me in sourcing the drug right in India. I brought that drug in from India. But the mistake that happened, my doctor here, my oncologist here at the time, did not administer the drug properly. He gave it to me without giving me the second drug, which kind of tempers that drug. So the full effect you're not felt. And the side effects of that drug is terrible. One day I started feeling very ill, weak, cannot move, legs gone, arms gone. So I stopped the drug. I'd already consumed about 35,000 milligrams of the drug. And I went to my cardiologist and he tells me, Dylan, get off that immediately. And only to find out if I'd stayed on it another 3 or 4 days, I would not be talking here today.
How is the coping now? Is it the coping now? Is it
Well, we just go through our life now. You need the support when you're going through that, and I think I've been there for him. every step of the way, and people need that kind of support. Just to know you're there. You don't really have to do anything, because what the hell are you going to do? Just to be there. If they need something, they call you, whatever,
Is it tough though? Being there, yes, knowing you have to be there, but feeling helpless.
Yes, it can be. It can be, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be, So you're there, you support them, and then you just have to move on. But I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who helped us along the way, our families, our friends, and it's been a rough journey, but we're here today, and what can we say? But thank you, Jesus, I guess. It's been rough, but it's been good. It's a learning curve. The whole family had to go through it when one person has cancer. Everybody has cancer, It's very, very difficult. But do your test early. Get diagnosed. Your medical insurance is important. Because that's another burden that you carry. If you can't pay for the treatment, that burden is just as heavy as cancer, maybe worse. So do the best that you can to get medical health insurance, although we had it and we lost it through no fault of ours, but then we still found a way to deal with it. You just have to keep going on one day at a time, Maureen. Yeah.
Cheryl, Dylan.
Yeah. Well, Maureen, listen. I was saying at the same session, so every time I go to the doctor, you swear my wife is the patient, because she has to sit in. She sits in with me at every session. Obviously, if I'm going to do special tests or the way she can't enter the room, that's different. But every time I go to the doctor, she sits in. She knows firsthand, so I cannot hide my condition or hide the situation. And I can tell you, boy, thank God for this wife. I always said, if I come back again, marrying the same lady.
Oh my God. I want to leave it on this note. Thank you all so much. Come bring it in. Bring it in, Dylan. Bring it in. Cheryl, Dylan, God be with you guys.
Yeah, and we hope we can save a few people out there as well.
Absolutely.
That's my mission.
The whole point, yeah.
That's my mission, to encourage my friends. Even the guy who invited me to do the SLASPA session, I have been at him to go back and do it, because his PSA has been rising.
Right.
And I am going to be at him like a bug, a tick.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's my mission now to encourage all the male guys, my friends out there, not only my friends, but every guy I meet out there, to go and do the PSA. Because as the doctors would tell you, the latter stages of prostate cancer is not easy. It's going to be very difficult for you, and it's a burden on your family. I don't want to put my family through this. It's a burden. I just had a good friend who passed, and I know what his sister went through, what she had to give up to spend 24 hours a day. She couldn't even go outside the house, because she has to be there. He's calling her. So, guys, go out there and do the right thing. Go and get those PSAs done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing with us. That's all. Thanks for sharing with our viewers. I'm sure this is going to touch many lives. Again, we want to take the opportunity to say heartfelt thank you to Cheryl and Dylan for not shying away, but actually answering the call and deciding to share this story with us today. So I hope in some way, somehow, some fashion, Dylan is all open, Cheryl is all open. If you'd like to reach out to them, maybe you yourself might have a reason to get some little more strength from them, seeing that, they're actually going through the travail, and you might want to reach out to them as well. So thanks again, Cheryl. Thanks, Dylan. And we're here. Whatever support you need from us, just let us know. We're a phone call away. The rest of you go on out and be great today. And you see, life is unpredictable. There's no telling where life can take us. That is why it's so mandatory for us, when we realize that we've been given the opportunity at life, every single day we wake up and we realize that we're here. You know what? Think about being positive with the time that we've got. Pour into positive energy into ourselves, into others, in our surroundings. Always be mindful, because no one knows.